So yes. Hi, Oga Jesse. Good evening, sir. They can do that a lot. Yeah. So this is a continuation of my series. This is in continuation of my series, which I had started earlier. And in the continuation of my series, because I know I made a post earlier today that got a lot of people tipped off. I mean, which is fine. Now, as a farmer, it is important you learn how to run your farm as a business, how to run your farm as a business. And this, I feel, a lot of farmers have not understood yet. A lot of farmers have not understood. And I must confess that it is actually a hard nut to crack. It is actually a hard nut to crack. Hi, Kemi. And the reason why I say it's a hard nut to crack is because you see, a lot of people are into buying and selling, and they confuse their buying and selling as running a business. So a lot of people are into hustling, so they have developed this perfect hustling mentality, and they start thinking that because I am a hustler, I now know how to run a business. Unfortunately, hustling and business are two different things. Having a hustle and running a business are two different things entirely. So, if we are not careful, what we end up doing is we bring our hustling mentality into the business environment. Very true, ma. Into the business environment. So you then think that I am running a business, but the reality is you are hustling, but you think you have a business. So, as a farmer, because again, I have seen a lot of people who think they are building a business, but they are just building a hustle. Then you start hearing them say things like, if it's hustling, why are we expanding? But the reality is, you can expand your hustle. You can even employ people into your hustle. The example that comes to my head easily are the street urchins, the agberos, the touts. Now, if you see a tout, what you notice is a tout basically has a let's go fight, let's go get this thing mentality. But the reality is they do not have a business. They are just hustling. They are just hustling. They are just trying to get by. They are about one day to the next day, one day to the next day. So what you realize is in hustling, hustling is more around survival. Hustling is more about hitting it big. Hustling is about your next meal. Hustling is about your next focus, your next goal. Your next is just about the next. Hustling does not build in a space. Hustling throws tentacles in multiple spaces. So it is important first we differentiate hustling from business. One, in a hustling does not require focus. Hustling requires staying in one place right now. Hustling is not about focus. Hustling is about every next opportunity. So you realize that a hustler today might be selling tomatoes, Tomorrow they are in pepper, next tomorrow they are in groundnut, the other time they are in palm oil. Because again, you may not hear them thinking, but am I not still doing agric? No, you are trying to get something going within agric, but you are hustling. Building a business is about focus. We build businesses with focus, but when you are doing a whole lot of different things, you are hustling. So today you are doing this, tomorrow you are selling pepper, next week you are processing, the other time. Now somebody is saying, does that mean I cannot do business and do all of this? You can, but there is a focus and a growth system in place. So ask yourself, have I really been doing business, or have I just been hustling? Because in hustle, there is no focus. There was an episode of Lion's Den that I was watching, and I'm not really sure, I can't remember what the guy came to pitch for, but after the guy finished pitching, he did not get what he came for. He did not get what he came for. None of the lions was willing to invest with him. Then he said, okay, it is fine that you guys are not investing, but I am still willing to give you equity because I need your knowledge to grow. And almost all the lions, if not all the lions that he requested that they give him their time and he will give them equity, they all accepted to give him their time so that they can guide him to grow. You see, that's somebody that came in with focus. Because in most of their feedback, what they kept telling him is, your business has not gotten to the point where it needs investment. If you see young people around me, they will tell you one of the things I always keep telling them is, you are not matured enough to get investors' money. I have done the mistake in the past. Your business is not matured enough to get investors' money. But when you are in the hustling mentality, when you are in that hustling race, you might think, yes, he came prepared, you might think that you are ready to collect investment just because you are seeing a space where you need to put money. That your business needs money does not mean your business is matured enough to collect money. But if you are a hustler, you will collect the money. If you are a hustler, you will collect the money. So the first thing that makes me know whether you are running a business or not is I gauge your focus. I check your focus level. I check your focus level. Is it okay to hustle at the beginning? Yes. You are still trying to get your footing, but 2, 3, 4 years later, you cannot still be hustling. You cannot still be undecided where you want to go. That's like being in your final year, but you are still not sure yet whether you want to do this thing or not. If I'm making any sense, please, just a minute. Whether you want to do this thing or not. Sorry about that. I have dry skin, so I forgot to rub cream when I had my bath. So back to what I was saying. Are you hustling or running a business? Are you hustling or running a business? So I said the first thing we use to track it is, do you have focus? When we check what you are doing, does it point to focus, or does it just point to, oh, there was an opportunity here, I did it? So that's why when you notice that when you are talking to an investor, one of the questions that we ask you are questions around, what is your vision for this thing? When they ask you for vision, what do you think they are trying to ask you? We are not just asking you how big do you want to go. We are trying to see the place that you are going and what you have been doing. Can we tie a line of focus? Can we tie a line of focus? Those are the things we want to check. Number two, how do we differentiate whether it is a business or a hustle? Your business is going to be what will become your primary line of income. It is how you make your most money. This is how you make your most money, which means by figuring out if this is where you make your most money, it also should show us where your resources are going to. And the first resource that we will judge with is, where is your money going to? Where is your money going to? It matters to us. Where are you putting your money? Where are you putting your resources? As simple as it sounds, it matters. You cannot tell me you are building a business and I check your personal account because you've not set up your company account, and I am not seeing your resources going into building your business. Then that is not really your business yet. It's just a hustle. That is why you will notice, for some of you, I'm sure you would have seen that when you are applying for some loan, some grant, or stuff like that, one of the things that we ask you is one of the co-founder a full-time staff of the venture? Have you seen that they ask you a question like that? They will ask you, is one of the founders a full-time staff? Because what they are trying to figure out is this a hustle or a business? Is there any that is doing this thing full-time? Or is it that everybody that is involved in this business, they are all doing this thing part-time? Because if you are doing it part-time, then it tells us that this is a hustle and not a business. So we cannot give you our money to run your hustle. Next is there a structure around what you do? Is there a structure around what you do? We are still going to come back and discuss these things. Is there a formal structure? Is there a formal way? Is there formality in what you do? Or you just do things based on mood and inshallah? Is there a structure to what you do? It matters. If there is no structure, and how do we know structure at times? Because at times you hear people say, but I'm the only one. Yes, you are the only one, but is there a pattern? I remember those days when I just started, I will not collect your money until I send you an invoice. Even though the invoice it is still me that will prepare it online and send to you, but you see, that brought a bit of formality. I won't let you pay. I must send you an invoice. If you ask people that worked with me 2020, 2021, when I was still just starting, you will not work with me until I draw up an agreement. Even when I didn't have money to always get a lawyer, or I will use my friends, they will help me draw up Chika Rest, they will help me draw up a contract, and I will share. In short, as a matter of fact, if you ask the interns that worked with me back then, 2020, for you to even be an intern with me, I will send you a contract. I'll create an employment contract for you as an intern. Though the internship was free, you still signed a contract. I still ensured you had a contract to work for free, because I was trying to put in structure. I remember the people, when I gave the intern the contract, they'll be like, full free work. I think my contract there was almost like 18 or 20 pages. Because I detailed it to ensure that even when we have money to pay well, we started practicing those things before we had money to pay well. So it was not haphazard. It was not as whatever it feels. No. I was intentional. So that whomever sees what we were doing, although we did not have money, they could see that, okay, this guy is trying to put in structure. This guy is trying to put a system in place. This guy, so if you don't have that structure and you are asking for real investors, Uncle Ima, they are already telling themselves that no, we can't work with this person. This is still a one-man show. This is still a hustle. This person is not even putting in things in place to say, hey, we are not hustling. No. This is still a hustle. Hey, Pastor Gideon, do you have systems in place to manage risk? Do you have systems in place to manage risk? Very important. Do you have systems in place? Or is this still Isha Allah? Because if you are going to run your farm, you must run your farm as a business. As a business. You see, because there are, so let me explain why this is important so you understand what I mean. Imagine you have a friend that has a 1-year-old child. 1-year-old child. Now, compare that 1-year-old child with yourself that is an adult. Compare that 1-year-old child with yourself, hi Chinelo, who is an adult. Now, take your time, think and type it out. Think of any organ. Think of any organ that is present in the child that is not present in you as an adult, and write it down. Another Basi, how you doing? Think of any organ that is present in you as an adult. Think of an organ that you have in your body as an adult that is not present in the child. Or think of an organ in the child that is not present in you as an adult. Think. Can you think of any? Any organ that is in the child but is not in you as an adult, or that is in you as an adult that is not in the 1-year-old child or baby or toddler. Can you think of any? I'm trying to see, hi Balaji, somewhere on YouTube. I'm trying to wait for anybody to type. Anything you can think of as an organ that is in you as an adult but not present in a child, or that is in a child but not in you as an adult. Can you think of any? 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 I'm waiting. An organ that you have nothing, sir. Somebody on YouTube said there is nothing. Let's wait for others. Mr. Akman Udwak says there is nothing. Can you think of any? What organ do you have in a child that is not present in the adult? Or organ in the adult that is not present in the child? Somebody else, Ife Oluwa says none on Facebook, none. Now, this is the point. If you have a small business, your small business is like a child. The big business, those big commercial businesses that you want to grow to become, is like an adult. Right? Now, if you can put in every system, if the child has every organ that the adult has, give the child time. that child will grow to become an adult. The same way, if you have a child that has one or two organs missing, maybe they don't have lungs, maybe they don't have liver, maybe they don't have kidney, whatever organ that is missing, you'll notice that give the child time, the child will not grow up to become an adult. They will die on the way, right? So this is what it means. What determines whether your small business will become a big business is whether the right structure, systems, and organs in your small business. Now, if those systems are not in place in your small business, your business is going to die with time. So, what then is the big deal when you are trying to get the likes of investors to come into your business? What they are asking themselves is, does this business have a structure? Is there a structure to this business? Because if this business does not have a structure, this business is going to die with time. Because if the business does not have a structure, what you have is a hustle. And anywhere that you are hustling dies with time. But if there is a structure, the business will grow big with time. So, growth is a rewarder of time. Growth will come once there is time. However, that growth is built on the presence of the right structure. So, when there is no right structure, debt becomes the reward. So when you hear people say, oh, small businesses are closing, the closing down of small businesses is because the structure was not there. The structure was not there. I have heard people say things like, oh, the business failed because there was no money. No. If you have followed the news for the past 1 or 2 years in Nigeria and even across Africa, I am sure you would have noticed that a lot of businesses that raised millions in dollars closed down. So, if businesses that raised money are closing down, would you say it was because there was no money? No. As a matter of fact, you will realize that most of the blame, usually when you see people write report about those businesses that closed down, they will tell you that there was a managerial problem. There was a management issue. Am I still making sense? So, first, we need to first know that you are even running a business and you are not hustling. And there are things we must put in place if you are already a farmer or about starting farming. For you to run a farm successfully, there must first be research and planning. A lot of us, you started your farm before you started doing research. Some people have reached out to me, hey, Farmer Sam, I am interested in farming. I have this amount of money, I want to put it in farming. And you will notice that they'll say, I want to consult with you. And I will tell them there is no consultation, don't pay me to consult. All you need to do is that whole money you have for farming. I tell them, go and look for an existing farm, buy the product and try and sell. And they are like, oh, Farmer Sam, you don't understand. I say, I want to start a farm. And I say, yes, I understand you want to start a farm, but nobody will pay you for owning a farm. So I tell them, you take the money that you have that you want to use to start farm, take a percentage of it, go and look for an existing farm, buy their farm produce and start selling. When you buy the farm produce and you begin to sell, you are doing market research. Because I realize when I tell people go and do market research, they really do not understand. So they stay in the comfort of their room, go on Google, start Googling, and they come back and tell me I've done market research. Which market research on Google? Which farm did you talk to? Which real farmer did you talk to on Google? Which real market did you talk to on Google? So you are going on Google and you are getting opinion of people that will not be your market. You are getting feedback from people that are not your real market. Then you come back and say, hey, the farm failed. You start saying the farm failed, but the farm did not fail. You are the one that failed the sector. The farm did not. You said the bones of the adult will reduce when he reaches. Yes, it's just that it's not it reduces, they fused. 206 to 216, it just fused. But the organ is still bone. It's not like bones disappeared. It's not like the child did not have bone and the adult now suddenly has bones. One day we'll have a conversation around that. That there are some things that we fuse, and the reason why they need to fuse is because there are some things you will need to do away as a child. But that's a different conversation. It's a different conversation. So the first thing is planning and research. But a lot of people don't understand what planning and research is. So rather than tell people go and do planning and research today, I tell them first, go and buy the product and sell. Because as you are buying the product and selling, you see, what I am focused on is you get to start interacting with your customer. Bonero, how far? You get to start interacting with your customers. You bring tomatoes, you bring the tomatoes today, they are like, I don't like these tomatoes, it's too watery. No, it's too big, it's too small, it's too tiny, it's too plenty, not plenty rich. You are not getting feedback from your customers. You start understanding their buying pattern. You start understanding their negotiating pattern. You don't want to grow tomatoes for 4-5 months and your tomatoes is ready and you start hearing that feedback. You don't want to plant cassava for 9 months, 10 months, and you start hearing that feedback. So I need you to get that feedback early. As you take your product from the farm, you are in the market, you start understanding how market women negotiate. Today you went, because you see, remember I said that it is okay to start with hustling. Today you carried tomatoes and the market is like, why you not bring pepper? You now carry pepper, they are like, no, you for bring pepper and tomatoes. Without the tomatoes, we not fit buy pepper, now you know. You now went back another time, brought tomatoes and pepper, they are like, what of onions? You see, you are now trying to understand that, okay, then you now realize, in the market, there are different categories of women buying pepper and tomatoes from you. There are those that buy plenty, there are those that want them big. There are those that want them a bit soft, poto. There are those that want hard tomatoes. You start selling to all of them, but unconsciously you start making decisions about your kind of market. What are you doing? You are gradually creating a niche. You are not telling yourself that, the kind of person I like to sell to, these kind of people get wahala, that this kind of people they like. You are creating your market niche gradually. You are creating a market niche. You see, it is based on this, you can now sit down and say, I want to create a business plan. Still under research and planning. But you cannot tell me you are doing a business plan when you have not done any of these farming things, any of this selling before. You don't even know your customers. But with this, you are also able to shout off, farmer be like, na rainy season, no. Now rainy season, so the tomatoes they be, you see, you are learning. Farmer, I don't like the way when these onions be. It just big anyhow. You for tell me, we for harvest them after 3 months. We just make we live and reach 4 months, make them big. You see, you have started learning. Because it will get to a point, you will enter farm and harvest with farmer. It will get to a point, you can see the field and understand what to expect. You see, it is all of this knowledge that goes into your business plan. So that by the time you are, because people ask me questions like, Farmer Sam, can I raise money to start a farm when I have not farmed before? Will investors believe me? Yes. They will give you money to start a farm even if you've not had a farm before. But you see, they will know that they can give you money because there are things that you have seen on the field. There is a research, marketing and research work that you have done that by the time you start speaking, they know that this is not Google speaking. This is hands-on experience. This is somebody that has tasted failure on the field. This is somebody that has stayed. I remember, okay, this evening, I was with myself and some of my colleagues, we were talking with some of our ex-partners, our ex-students, and we were gisting, and I took them to one of the facilities where I started. And I remember while we were gisting, one of the staff said, that she will not forget that first day, a day after she resumed work, the first place I took her to for us to work was, because then I still do a lot of buying and selling. And I bring tomatoes from my different farmers across Nigeria. And those days, because of where my own farm is located, it was always easier for me to go to front of the governor's office, Ogun State Governor's office. We will go there by 1 a.m. to wait for our truck that is coming. That is where we will sit down and start sorting tomatoes and pepper. 1 a.m. I did not, it's not, what's it called? I did not, tabon, it's not an error that I said 1 a.m. I mean 1 a.m. That is when I knew that, see, the day economy is controlled by the night economy. Most people don't know that. That there is truly something called night economy. Because normally when you pass the front of governor's office during the day, I never knew there were agbero in that place. I never knew there were touts that wait to collect money. By the time we started frequenting there at night, the first few nights they disturbed us. Over time, they got to know us, young people. Oh, now welcome. But they will just hail us, go and stand on the road and be collecting money. Some, what's it called? I don't know if they are government workers, selling tickets 1 a.m., 2 a.m. at night. But you see, we were learning the process. Because if you understand the night economy, our tomatoes and pepper, then we are still selling plenty my 12. It must get to my 12 before 2, 3 a.m. Because the earlier your pepper and tomatoes lands the market in my 12 a.m., the higher the price you can sell. When your farm product is getting to my 12 by 4 a.m., 5 a.m., a lot of other people are coming in. Product from the north is coming in by that time. And if product from the north comes in before your own, the price that you are going to sell will drop drastically. So you want to ensure you come in earlier than them. So that by the time your product comes in, there is scarcity. Because now this was the good part. The market men and women, the real market men and women, hi babe, knew that tomatoes and pepper is probably on its way from the north. But because of the state of our road and reality, they are not sure whether it will arrive on time. So for the fear of not having anything to sell, when our product gets there 1 a.m., 2 a.m., they quickly offtake everything. Then once we finish selling, we start coming back. You see, I'm showing you some things that you didn't know people have passed through. Because once the truck from the north enters my 12, and once they get there, before they even start, the price of tomatoes that maybe they were buying 20k per basket. So basket used to be 20 kg. We use crates. So what they were buying at 20,000 before, 30,000 before, once the truck comes in, boom, your price can go from 20,000 to 8,000. Just like that. There is no negotiation, there is nothing, because the volume is around. And for us, see, I'm going to show you some of the things marketing and research we do for you, why you need to first sit down and understand the market. For us to be able to enter the market earlier, remember I said our product at times comes from the north. Now, I cannot use a truck to bring my product from the north, Because if I do that, my product coming from the north with truck and the product going to my 12 with truck are moving at almost the same pace, which means I do not have the opportunity to resort. Because why are we resorting? Not everything that came will go. But the one we are sending, we go there as grade A, top of the top notch, top of the top. Some of the tomatoes that are not so good to go, we will give to the Agbero in front of governor's office, 1 a.m., 11 p.m., 12 a.m., late at night. And all of these things that we are doing, we are trying to meet up with time. And I'm giving you gists. When the product is coming from the far north, they come with raffia baskets. When they meet us at that junction of governor's office, if you know Abeokuta well, okay, Monson area, we take them from the raffia basket to fine crate, clean it up, look good, before they start moving, so that we can meet the demand. And for us to bring, we don't use big truck, we will use things like J5, so that if the truck we use 12 hours to get here, J5 may use 8 hours. That gives us a 4 hours break. In that 4 hours break, we quickly clean up, do everything, boom, send it to Lagos. By the time our own truck is, our own J5 or stuff is getting there and we are done selling, by the time they are done offloading, they finish buying before their truck starts landing. Then we have sold out. Guess what? By 7:30 a.m. latest, 7 a.m. at times, I am back on the farm in the morning. All the team members that worked with us at night, while we all work together at night, we are back in the farm in the morning like nothing happened. At times, we are lucky that the J5 gets to the farm very early by 5, 6 p.m., 4 p.m. We can clean up quickly and go home while the truck go and helps us to deliver. We don't deliver before 11 p.m. because if not, your product will be treated as the product of the previous day. We want our product to look like for the new day. Market research. You see, it is now based on this understanding. You can now say, oh, I want to. Now, if you are still doing your farm, you can even test run your farm on a small scale with your profits. So that by the time you are drawing up your business plan comes from experience. It's not this one, because that's why it is always funny when I hear people say, hey, from Assam, for who will help me draw up my business plan. I'm like, and this is the business you want to do. And you need somebody to help you draw up a business that you will do. Like, are you normal? I don't know who speaks to that. Are you normal? Macaroni, are you normal? And I'm showing you because when some people come around and they're like, Farmer Sam, he's just lucky. I just start laughing. I'm like, just because we were not posting all of these realities online those days, that's why it is now called luck. What was this guy's name? The stalker that said that when lazy person see person when prepare, when opportunity come, you just say na luck. You're not going to say not be luck or say na hard work. So number one is there must be proper market research and planning to convert your hustle into a business. So all that time that you were doing buying and selling, you've not started business yet. You are just hustling. You are trying to understand. Have you said something before and the police or security outfit will stop your truck at night and that's the end? You've lost money that night. That's not happened to you before. Do you know how many times I had to buy what's that thing called? Tickets. Ogun State ticket, this ticket, cross-border ticket, that border ticket. It got to a point that actively I knew almost every policeman in almost every junction for night duty. Thank you, Maoga Green Ali. Almost every policeman. I didn't know people in day duty, but I knew almost all the guys for night duty. Because they don't catch us, they can't know us. In short, I was discussing with somebody and I was just jabbing and I told the person, I said, if you know how much night work myself and my team members have put in, I'm not saying day work or night work. Our farm is in a place called Awowu. If you take our vehicles today, our company vehicle, any of them, and you are driving from Awowu to Augusto, what's the name? Lagos. Every checkpoint that you get to with our vehicles, they will stop you and call the person that drives that car officially. That is how much we moved at night that they got to know us. They'll be like, no, 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 no. I remember the day the mechanic took my car for the first time. And they stopped him and called me to say, Oga, we see somebody inside your car. We don't arrest them. I said, no, now my mechanic. They're like, Oga, now your mechanic. No, we do not know. Okay, we go let them go now. How much I'm not see, because when people are shouting, oh, police is, it's not like I'm trying to defend anybody, but police is this, police is that. I'm just laughing. I'm like, see, when you do real farming, you will know that police is your friend. Because they become the system in place to ensure that things don't go wrong. They become that system in place for you. Where when the driver says, I'm coming from Kaduna, I'm coming from Kano, I'm coming from Nasarawa, I'm coming from Niger, we sit down and start monitoring. When you call driver not pick, you just, hello, that police, how far now? And you they work today? Well done, no, how work they go? I beg, one of my truck, they come, this. They say now the plate number be this. Now the police will tell you, say, no, the guy never reach here. Once he reach here, guy go call you. So by the time you now hit the driver will tell you, say, in the upper, you be like, driver, God, not lie. The police already there, so that never pass. The guy will call the laugh. And all when we reach there, we go call you. I am giving you real life growth of how we got to where we are. Not a lot of so-called people in farming business can tell you this truth. Because all of them, most of them did shunting to come in. When you have gotten these basics correct, that is when you are now ready to start business. That is when you are ready to start business. Then you now have what you call the legal and administrative setup. When you now sit down officially and say, I want to register my business. You see, because if you don't do all this market research, in your CAC MEMAT, that is why you see people write a lot of things because you don't even know what you really want to do. You be like, and just say agriculture, all agric, all this are only you. But by the time you have been able to do this research, like I explained, you now realize in your MEMAT, there is focus. Because there is an understanding of where you want to go to. By the time you are registering your business and you say, oh, I think I need a co-founder, you know what you need. You know who you need as a co-founder. You know who you need to be part of what you want to build. You know how to say, okay, this thing that we want to build, I need 3 people, but let's only me start alone. So it is something that you are already aware of. Are there permits that you need? You already know the things that you need. Because you now realize, in short, as a matter of fact, when you say you want to even register business, if you have done your market research work properly, the hustling days, there are people even saying, we want to give you money to do this business with you. Then that is where the story of that's why you now understand the part where people start saying, okay, how many of the co-founders are doing this thing full time? Because you have done this thing so well that by the time you say you are ready to register your business, you have a friend or two, senior uncles, aunties or two that will say, let us give you money to add into your business. You are not telling them, and that if I'm going to take your money, I don't have money to pay back. Oh, can I give you shares? Can I give you equity? I'm trying to show you how I built. Can I give you equity in my business? And the person is like, okay, because they have seen how you handled your hustle. Now that you say you are ready to turn it into a business, they know that this thing cannot fail. They know that this thing honestly has a future. Because the fact that you are able to differentiate when you will stop the hustling and now enter into running a business, you are not doing formal registration, you are the one asking for your tax ID, you are the one calling insurance company to say, okay, based on my hustling days, these were the risks that I saw. This is the kind of coverage that I need. So it is not the insurance company telling you what to cover. You are the one from your experience now knowing These are the things I need to get covered through insurance. These were the risks. This is where I was losing money. This is where I didn't have control. This is where I had issues. This is where I need you guys to help me cover. I hope I'm making sense. You see, now you are now understanding, now you are now building a proper base for your business. Next is land and infrastructure. I was telling some of the youngest today, I said, when I was to start, I did not start by owning land. I went to rent. You see, because in your hustling days, there are people that have facilities they can give to you when you are ready. They have seen the seriousness in your hustle that they can lend you their credibility for you to get access to properties. Who says you must buy land to start? You can now start saying, okay, I need land. Who can borrow me land? I remember when I started, I got a big mentor that gave me land for I think 3 months, 4 months, with greenhouses already built for free for 3 or 4 months, that I should use it rent-free, that's how I can balance. There are people that can introduce you to such opportunities. I remember I was having a conversation with somebody, the person was saying, oh, Farmer Sam, if only you are ready to enter into rice milling, we have a facility in the north that we can give to you for a year rent-free. And I was asking the person, why would you give me your facility for a year rent-free? They said, because they know me. That if I agree to use it, their facility will not spoil. I will manage it and take care of it like the way they gave it to me. But they are giving me a year because they know that, oh, it's a thing they are trying to beg me to pick up if I'm interested, so that I can recuperate and be okay before I start paying rent. There are people that can give you facilities. There are people that can give you access to systems that you can use. But the issue is they are not seeing a proper thing that they can put their money on. There is no credibility to what you're doing. Then you can then start even putting in how to start preparing for your own infrastructure while you are in your rented place. Because by the time you are saying, sir, if I can get this rented space to use, I know I will get this, in 2 years, I would have bought this. You see, they start knowing that what they are giving to you as a loan, as a lease, as a borrow, you are not depending on it for life. You have a plan to move on. You have a plan to grow. You are not bringing in, what's that thing called? You are not doing stupid confessions that are driven by greed. I know when I do it where God will open a way that the man will say, I dash you the land. Thief, now you be thief. Dash you which land? Go and buy your own. Because you start seeing young people that have some crazy, I don't know, spiritual confusion that they feel, if I do it where you will dash me. Dash you what? Is that how they dash? Next is financial management. Financial management. We must be able to see your ability to have proper management. And which means when you were hustling, we should have seen how you were able to manage. Oh, when I started, I borrowed 200K. Today, we are doing businesses in 1 million, in 2 million. God opened a way in 5 million. See how we grew. I was in a place someday, and one of my guys was telling me that, Farmer Sam, you will not believe what people are saying about you. I said, Daddy, what are they saying? He said, people say that you must be doing money laundry or blood money. I started laughing. I was like, so Daddy, what did you say? He said, I just looked at them and said, people don't know anything. People are just confused and jealous. Because we must be able to look at your finances and say, this is how this person grew. How do you manage money? How do you manage money? Very important. Because if you are able to manage money and you have done every other thing right, funding will not be your issue. As a matter of fact, when you even say you need funding, banks and financial institutions are the ones that will be working with you to ensure you have all the right documentation. Why? They know that you have a system that cannot fail. but you don't have everything I have said properly tidied up. You don't have proper financial management. You don't know how to do budgeting. You don't know how to do bookkeeping. You are looking for money. Which money? You want to raise money that will not put you in trouble. You now start saying it's Satan. Or the money that you finish raising, you now start saying, what happened is, it's village people. Village people don't even know you exist. In your village, you are not among successful people. What makes you think you are the one village people are after? You must understand financial management. And you learn that in your days of hustle. Because by the time you are becoming a business where everything now has a system, it is easier for you to hide in the system. But when it was just a hustle, we can see how you treat money. We can see, I always give people this example. I say, when I see a young person saying, from my son, I have this issue, I have this issue, I have this issue, and blah, 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 blah. One of the tests I give to them is I give them more money than they ask for, just to see how they fail quick. Just to see how they fail quick. At times, if it is a time, those days when I used to have time, I would take the person, let's go out together, let's go and eat. I want to see you that is looking for money, what is your disposition to free food? Are you so focused on the food, or do you still understand that you need money for your business? Are you seeing the food as God has provided? Or are you seeing the food as, no, this is test of character? Are you seeing the food as, game, this guy, I don't chop him money today? Or are you seeing that? I remember there was a time I was discussing with some of our old ex-students, and I gave them a test. And I remember after the whole test, and I told them, this is what I was checking. What did I do that day? I brought Coke, I think it was drinks and biscuit and all, and I said, take as you like. Some took 2 times. You know the way of some people go and take double portion, 3 portions, 4 portions, and I was just watching. And I told them, I said, you see, those who went to take multiple portions have not, and then there were some that were under punishment, and I said, just keep taking, don't worry about people under punishment. And some people took multiple, and they were ever happy. I said, that is still a lack of discipline. Why is it that where people who are rich, well-to-do are, where people who have discipline of money, that is only where you do buffet? Why don't they do buffet in regular Owambe party? Because people will not have the discipline to eat what they need. They will eat for tomorrow. They will even want to do takeaway. I have noticed that anywhere you do buffet and people are taking again and again and again in a wasteful way, most of the time, these are people who are poor. They do not have a proper financial management. And one of the biggest betrayers of financial management is how you eat. One of the quickest way to know somebody that does not know how to manage money, it is seen in how they eat. Once how they eat changes, when money enters their pocket, it's a pointer to not knowing how to manage money. You have survived from January till now on taking 010, on taking Gari and Ekpa. Small money entered your pocket, sweet sensation will not hear word. Mr. Biggs will not hear word. You are now the Jagaban of those places just because of small money that entered your pocket. It will not take time for that money to finish. Financial discipline. And we will know that through your bookkeeping. Are you meticulous about how you spend money? Have you noticed that these rich men that you call rich, have you tried doing businesses with them? Do you see the way they negotiate? Do you see how they, in short, has a rich man ever negotiated with you to the extent that you start doubting whether they are really rich? That you start thinking, is it that this guy is just poor, but people just think he's rich? But you see, the reality is, it is that kind of negotiation capacity that built their wealth. It is that capacity to negotiate that way that made them become rich. If they just spend money anyhow, nothing will happen. They will not be rich. They will not be where they are. Yes, you might say, but they are generous. Their generosity is budgeted. They are not generous in stupidity. It is budgeted. Some of you, your problem is you have proper budgeting, but you are very emotional when you hear people's bad news. Hello, even the Bible says, mourn with those that mourn. It did not say help those that mourn, no. It means what I owe you in your tears is to cry with you. If you come crying, what I owe you is to cry. Yes. What I owe you is to cry. Next is number 5, production and operations. Production and operations. As you are starting this business, you need to keep thinking, how do I get quality input? How do I get it cheaper? See, that is like so there must be a system where you keep reanalyzing. Earlier this week, myself and the chief agronomist and some of our team members, we are looking at, okay, I know we are, because I was saying, okay, what is our yield per plant right now? I'm trying to tell you that even at this level, I still do that. What was our yield per plant? And you're like, okay. I said, okay, what is the average yield? And he said, no, we cannot, because, he also teaches me things, that we cannot do Nigeria average yield because of difference in weathers and all of that, that we can only do Southwest average yield. So we said, okay, I said, okay, what is the Southwest average yield? And he said it. I said, okay, industry-wise, worldwide, global standard, what is the average yield? I said, okay. I said, we have done well to have passed, let me think, I don't know where I wrote it. We've passed industry average yield for all the crops. Can't remember where I wrote it. Okay, I think I've seen it. Then, for even worldwide yield for habanero, we had crossed the average yield. But I think it was tomatoes and pepper. I said, okay, we are 50% of global yield, average yield. We were now looking at what do we need to do to get there. You see, because by the time you are talking to investors, they need to see there is a strategy to what you do. You are not just doing inshallah, folding hands. What is the strategy to your planting? What is the strategy to your labor force? How do you hire? How do you choose how you hire? What are the qualities? What is the culture of where you work? These little things, you keep documenting. Okay, you got a particular laborer that was very good. Did you take time to analyze, how did I get this laborer? Why is this laborer different? Have you had conversations so that you can start writing down the qualities you need to look for before your next hire? So that you now start having a system to get quality hires. If you ask people that always come around to the farm, one of the things they keep saying is, Farmer Sam, your team members are great. How do you do it? And I just start smiling. How do you do it? What did you do? What's the secret? So I'm telling you some of the things we do. Number 6, marketing and sales. How will you sell what you are doing? How will you brand what you are doing? Branding is not about writing colors and all. You might do paper, but branding for me is, what do people say about your products? How do people define you? That's the biggest branding. Do you have sales channels? How do you do your pricing? What is your pricing strategy? These are things you need to look at to know that you are really running a business. What is your pricing strategy? There are about 7 or 8 pricing strategies. Which of them are you using? Sales channels. How many places can customers get to you? How can customers get to you? How can customers buy from you? Or do customers need to pray and hope and say one day, Mr. Kele Kuta says he has been, where is your location, sir? He was given a free facility just 1 week ago. Men will do well for you if you are serious. Exactly. There are people that will help you. They just need to know that you are really serious about what you are doing. They just need to know that you are really serious about what you are doing. Some of us we have not really put in that energy yet. Finally, to know you are running a business, your compliance and growth. What is your system in place for food safety? How do you ensure that what you are doing is healthy? Food safety is not just safety for the consumers. How is the process safe for you as a farmer? How is it safe for the environment? What systems are you putting? What certifications are you getting? How are you doing record keeping? This is not bookkeeping now for finance, record keeping for your whole operations. What is your plan for scaling? What is your plan for scaling? How do you scale? You notice I have talked about first that you are increasing your efficiency before we start talking of scaling. How are you scaling? What is your system in place to scale? These little things matter. How are you networking? You cannot just say 5 years, 10 years, you are still a farmer. You are the best in your own shadow. Nobody knows you. No, you are failing. How are you networking? How are you going out? How are you attending conferences? In your hustle and bustle days, you can choose not to go out because you are still trying to build. But at some point, there is now a time when you start going out. When people start knowing you like, okay, oh, wow, okay. Oh, this is what we have done. This is what we have done. Why is it that when I go to platforms and I speak, it sounds different? Because I can tell you about 12 years of real hard work. So when I get the opportunity today and I am talking to a governor, a this, a that, and I am talking, they can hear the experience when I speak. That this person is not talking from inshallah. No, this person is talking from they have really put in the work. As I round up, all I am saying is you must run your farm as a business. You must run your farm as a business. So thank you for listening. I don't know if there is any question. You must run your farm as a business, is what I'm trying to say. Gombe State. Oh, Mr. Kaletuma is in, sorry if I didn't pronounce it well. In Gombe, he just got a facility a week ago. Thank you, food safety, man. That was the day I was somewhere speaking, and the person said, that for my son, that they always thought that I was all this Nepo baby that came into farming. And they didn't know that I have passed through a lot of these things, so that wow, that my experience is rich. And I just started smiling. If we sit and I tell you some of the things I don't share online, some of the things I don't share online, to get to where we are. I was telling somebody that even at your date, I spend more time on the farm than I spend at home. More time on the farm than I spend at home. I spend way more time because I am still building. Then you meet one young entrepreneur that is just starting and is telling you, oh, I go to my farm every week. And I'm like, Beleo, Auntie Imbu. You go to your farm every weekend. And I call them to see what is happening. I'm like, you call them to see what is happening. And you are saying it's not working. You are making a call to see what is happening. I spend more time on the farm. At least I'm on the farm Monday to Friday every week, if not till Saturday. At times Sunday, but let's even say Monday to Friday every week. If I do the mass, let me see. If I do the mass of that, that will be 52 weeks times 5 days, 260. Let me be sure. 2 times 52. Yes, about 364 days. I spend about 260 days on the farm in a year. Not counting the that I'm on the farm and Sundays I'm on the farm. 260 days. If you do 260 divide by 365 days times 100, it means I spend 71%. Abi is working for others. I spend 71% of my time on the farm. 71% of my time on the farm. But you that is an entrepreneur that you have not done 1 year in farming, you are living in Lagos, your farm is in Ogun State, then you visit only weekend and you are saying you are not seeing results. Well done. Well done. Wari result. Yes, they will not, thank you, Green Alley, God bless you. They will not tell you, no, I have fixed CCTV on the farm. So I am using the CCTV to monitor the farm. Monitor baby that has not grown. That's like giving birth to a child and leaving the child in Lagos or in Ogun, and you are in Lagos. And they are saying, how is your baby doing? And you are like, no, I am monitoring the baby with CCTV, Pele, or monitoring spirit. You think I don't have CCTV on the farm? You think I don't have CCTV? If we don't have CCTV, okay, Miss Chinelo is not here. I don't think we have less than 100 cameras, if not more, on the farm. But I still enter the farm. In short, I'm sure you know that I'm inside the farm right now as we are talking. I am chatting you, I'm having this conversation from the farm. The child go to hear word, or be a David Dub. The child go to hear word. Not go to hear word. No, the child, they don't go hear word. Because you don't understand that in building a business, there was a statement, you see, most of the time when I hear some people say things, some men of God say things, I try to reflect it or replay it in my head as a farmer in business. Bishop Oyedepo made a statement one time. He said, you cannot grow your church by inviting ministers and other invited guests. He said, you cannot grow your church by always inviting other ministers. He said, for you to grow your church, you must be the one preaching. And I turned it to myself. I cannot grow my farm by always bringing specialists, experts, and consultants. I need to be on the farm by myself. It's okay, Mr. Greenally is a fish farmer. Thank you, sir. His farm is in Odogbolu right now. He's telling me he is still on the farm right now, checking his fish, where he's watching me. This is 10 p.m. He is on the farm watching his fishes. He's looking at his fishes on the farm. But you are a farmer. You are in Lagos. Your farm is in Ogun State. You are always checking your CCTV to see. Then you will now make a call. Hello, how are you? Yes. This is the CEO speaking. CCTV. How is the farm doing? Okay. Hope the plants are running around very well. They'll say yes. Well done. You've not grown yet. Patients tell them they left farm and they are having peace of mind. It's not yet a business. Until we must know that Ogbesori, I don't know how to speak the Yoruba way. You are Ogbesori. It's on your head. At the beginning, you are the one carrying it. Let me give you an example. As rich as Alhaji Dangote is, if somebody told you that when Nigeria threatened his refinery, that Alhaji by himself will carry fuel, did you notice he was carrying fuel to every podcast, TV interview, media? He was the one shouting, see my fuel is clean. They don't want to make I sell. Where do you think Alhaji Dangote was staying more then? He was always at his refinery. That's Africa's richest man, sitting in the refinery. He put out like this, look at. Did you notice it is now that the refinery has speaked fully that he resigned and said he has resigned as MD chairman of, what's it called? Cement. Because this one now will bring Yafu money. If you can't be in the farm, leave farming alone. Leave farm. I am telling you this harsh reality. No, you don't understand that for my son, I have other things to do. I need to keep doing. You are running a business from internet. Once a remote worker, lorry farm. Oh. Yes, he left Dangote Cement. When now that the refinery is standing, go to abroad. The abroad that you are talking about, UK, US, Netherlands. At least God don't let us travel, reach some spaces. When you get there, the farmers live on the farm. The farmers live on their farm. On their farm. In short, let me give you something that might shock you a bit. Do you know this music they call country music? You know the music they call country music? They say, country music. That a lot of musicians sing. All them, what's their name? Dolly Parton, all of them, country music. Do you know what country music is? Have you ever tried figuring out what country music is? Do you know what what's it called? Country music is. Have you tried figuring it out before? Yes, Don Elia, a whole lot of them. Have you tried figuring out what country music is? Go back and read. Because at times, people don't know. The Don Williams, there are many. Country music is the song of farmers. Yes, mommy, thank you, ma. You see, farmers, remember yesterday I was talking about one of my vision to build country homes. Farmers are the ones that live on countryside. Farmers are, so in Nigeria, we call it villages. We call it rural areas. In Europe, they call them countryside, country homes. And the people that predominantly lives there are farmers. And majority of these farmers, I'm going somewhere, are cattle rearers. They rear cows. It is these cattle rearers, these cow people, that brought about what we call cowboy today. And when you see people wear those big hats and call themselves, I'm a cowboy, I'm a cowboy. Cowboys are actually cattle rearers. Forget now that they are trying to modernize it and bring it into fashion. These are cattle rearers. And because they stay a lot in isolation alone, country music was what they used to use to make themselves. So country music that has become popular worldwide is a genre for farmers. And most people don't know that. It's a song genre for farmers. If you are truly omonile, a child that truly understands primary farming, you will know that in Nigeria we have songs for farmers, what we call folk song, folks. How do they pronounce that in Fagotabon? Folk music. There's a name there, something folklore. I don't know how they pronounce it. Folklore. If you listen to folklore, no, English is not our mother tongue. If you listen to folklore songs and you listen to country music song, you will see the similarity, that the only difference is in the beat. Our folklore songs are actually songs that are telling folklore. Thank you, ma, but I don't know how to pronounce it. So folklore songs are actually songs where you just sit there and you're like, let me look for an example, a popular one. This one that Ebenezer Obey sang. Can you want me? Kete kete, that's horse folklore. And I don't know that the pronunciation be the issue, not be the spelling of my oga. That kete kete song, I'm sure you've heard of the song. When he said the kete kete, the boy and the child were going, then they were like, kete kete, lofo, lo. All these songs were farmer songs. That's why those are the songs that if you remember in the village where they will sit down and be telling you story of horse and dog and cat and tortoise cannot run, horse and the man, thank you, tortoise can run, tortoise cannot run, tortoise can fall, tortoise cannot fall. All these songs were story-like songs. Because notice the way they just play it is, they are not songs you are dancing to. So these are songs. Now, I want to paint the picture for you, because a lot of people really still do not understand what farming is. Maybe one of these days on the farm, I will try and talk with our communications team. Let's see if we can do it on the farm for people to really understand what farming is. Because this over-modernization of farming is making us lose the real essence of farming. Because people are reaching out and saying, Farmer Sam, why are you playing music on the farm? Why are you doing Mr. and Miss Eya? I'm just like laughing. I'm saying, oh, you don't really understand the real farming. Because those days, for the real farmer, he does not go to farm and return back every day. He goes to farm, can spend 2-3 days before he comes back home, because it is a journey to trek. It is civilization that now brought in road that closed the gap between farms and home. So when the farmer comes back from the bush, he now needs to sit down. He will bring yam, go and block some bitter leaf, start fire. Then when he starts the fire, one of the girls or the women or the guys will just take the, I don't know what they call that in English. Ukoise. What's ukoise in English? You know this calabash that has something like that? You're not be doing shuku, 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 shuku. It's not tambourine. I don't know what they call it in English. You just be playing it. Then whomever that has voice will now start singing some songs. They look for what to make them happy. Then you now roast maize, roast yam. So all that process can take 2 hours. So they are just telling stories, or they are just singing simple songs. I go out today, we not see food chop, the antelope we kill, now this, that, this, and everybody is happy. It's a big festival in Brazil, you see? It is just because, I want to modernize it. If not, would I be doing it the way it is done locally? Then somebody will climb up, pluck one, what is it called? Cut one tree in the evening to that brought out a bit of sap, cut palm wine. Then you all shekere. What's shekere? Thank you, Jerry. What's shekere in English? Then you just start playing, and you sing simple songs. These songs they used to sing those days, we call them a moral song. It is not a Christian song, but it is not a Satan song. It is just song for wisdom or for jokes or for laugh. There used to be this Baba. The Baba is dead now. He was one of the lead singers for Tales by Moonlight. He had a lot of those songs. You just sing it around fire and everybody is happy in their simplicity. In their simplicity. This is what farming used to be. This is what farming used to be. But we have lost all of that. If we had done our farming right, all those our folklore songs would have also become popular like country music. Would have become popular like country music. So that become popular. That today you be listening because every tribe in Nigeria had it. When you go and sit with real farmers, go to where real farmers are working. That's why you need to go to villages. Some farmers still sing those songs. African bearded gods, thank you, man. See people that went to good schools, not us in Nigeria. Some people still sing those songs. If you go to real farmers, you hear them as they are clearing. They'll be singing the song. Another person will pick it. At times, these farmers don't even know each other. Everybody is working on their different farms. But they are just raising songs and they are singing and they are happy. They are not danceable songs. But they are songs either with wisdom, with joke, or just for fun. Okay, any question? I mean, because I've talked too much history tonight. Let me just pause there. I've said too much history. If there's any question. It's not Samuel Ahmed. So farming is not ideal for people that it's not ideal because it's a business. What are you farming and you are not here? And you are saying things are not working. How you want to take work? How you want to take work? If there's somebody from Edo State, Ishan, one of the ones I remember, at least I still remember some of the native languages, the one I grew up with. Omona yole ailazan you wear agbon so lolere on shan. Aya anole when we said we are lenya we are kilole agbon when they buy lekiwo ye eleshan rio. Agbon nation ne valenje shan elunu de ba aya ashan. Funny, like this song sounds funny. Okay, what I just said in language is saying they are telling a child this thing that you want to eat is not the right path. This child is like, no, others have done it and they have gone ahead. Then they will now ask the child, okay, the people that you said they have gone ahead, where are they? He said, there they are, see them going. Then they ask the child, where are they going? He said, he does not know that they are going. He said, okay, since you have made up your mind that you will follow them, you too, bye-bye. Be going. So you don't need to be a farmer to make money in agriculture, but tonight I am talking about those that have chosen farming. If you say you want to be a farmer, do it right. Do it right. The fun, see, I cannot lie to you. The fun of a farmer is not the same thing with the fun of an engineer in the city. It's not the same. So we must go back to understand our fun as farmers. That when you do your fun as a farmer right, even those in the city will come and join you. Even those, one of the farms I have seen them get that right properly is my Egbon in Nasarawa, Ogatedeke, and some other few farms like that, and they've gotten it right. Me, I'm not there yet. Where when you get to his farm, every Friday is gyration. He will just tell his guys, oh yeah, catch one rabbit, come. Catch one chicken, catch like 2, come. They will kill it. Antelope, catch one, come inside bush. Because he was able to create that perfect system. They will kill it, bring palm wine, come from his farm. Everybody goes to that. They play music, they chop, they happy. So everybody looks forward to Friday because every Friday is gyration. You are not spending money. You are eating only things on the farm. They go pluck one palm oil, pluck another palm oil, and bam, you are there. You can see, farming is different. Farming is, we are losing touch with our, I don't know how to speak the English. We are losing touch. And this is what I'm trying to say as much as I can we recover? Thank you, Oladejo. Like there are, no, you won't understand. Any questions, so I can answer questions, so it doesn't look like Nale story I detail. We need to get back the lost glory of farming. When we get it, I did tell you, people who are in the banking sector, or else they jealous you, say, because with proper farming, you may not be the richest man in the world, but your life will be rich. People will envy your life. We still have antelopes, so they've not jackpot. We still have antelopes. Even in our farm here, there was a time they said they saw some antelopes disturbing. It's just because I told them, let them be. But I am working on a system, sometimes in another 1-2 years, where I want to figure out where they are and fence them in, but we are not killing them, to let them multiply. We still have antelopes in Nigeria. Antelope, wow. We are losing, exactly, man. We are losing touch with our farming. So when we say agriculture, that farming has a culture, minus the business. If you know what farming culture is, you will love farming. Farming is community. Farming is communal living. See, farming is you and nature interacting. There is that love affair you will have with nature. When we are able to build it to that point and we start showing people, say, this is what farming is. Farming is eating, I'm not saying eating organic, eating natural. Farming is me coming and say, Shebi we get like 3,000 goats here, 5,000 goats. I beg, bring one goat more, kill them. I beg, enter there, give me scent leaf. Bring, what do you call them? We get there in this economy. I'm working on it. I just need to get to the point where I can build a template and tell people, take this template, go and replicate. You don't need to pass through what I passed through, but this is what works. That we are able to say, bring this one, come, bring that one, come. We'll just kill and do cha. You chop, you relax. When you finish, you enter inside your room, you sleep. You not they hear, wow, we. No. We're already getting there. Thank you, in Brazil, they have the farmers community. At least right now, I know I've not posted it online. We've been able to get to about 22 to 23 hours light, if not 24 hours light on the farm, with the help of solar and all. The next thing is, once we have settled this, is to work on internet. Get internet right. Once we get those two right, the next thing is, we want to start building small, what's it called? Life band centers. Oh, you see, Green Alley, thank you, sir. That's another person around the Bolino Ogun State that antelopes and monkeys are curious every Sunday. Monkeys walk in front of him. You see, South Africa, as once saw your post, is it better than? It is not a question of is one better, it's about understanding where you are. Yes, they organize fairs, events together. There are things we have lost with farming. How do you decide between expanding land and it? You do not expand. I think yesterday I was talking about you must know growth is different from expansion in business. Growth in business is not expansion. Growth in business is I am getting more out of the same input, or I am getting the same out of less input. That is growth. Expansion is I need to increase what I am doing physically. I need to increase what I am doing. But expansion is driven by demand. Growth is driven by increasing profitability. Because, so let me explain. If I am using 10 naira to get 1,000, though my math is not too good. If I'm using 10 naira to get 100 naira, I now say I have increased to using 100 naira to get 1,000. In the real business sense, I expanded, I did not grow. Because when you look at my input to my output, the percentage input to percentage output is still the same. So I did not grow, I only expanded. I hope that is making sense. So that is not growth, that is expansion. So you expand because there is a market demand. You grow because you need to increase your profit margin. Hope that makes sense. So you grow to increase profit margin, you expand to meet market demand. Hope that makes sense. I was in your farm last year. You are doing well for my son. Thank you. Thank you. So we still want to get there. I want to get to a point where people in Lagos are saying, hey, I need to relax. I'm going to the farm. I want to rest. I'm going to a farm. Because that is what people do abroad. When you want to rest, you go to a country home. You go to a farm to go and rest. In the farm, everything is predictable. You can say, tomorrow I don't want there. I mean, some of you that are living on the farm, how many times have you woken up and you heard car disturbing your sleep? It will be an honor to host you, man. You heard car disturbing your sleep. No, it's predictable. A farming environment gives you predictability, whether Nigeria is predictable or not. You can wake up and say, you know you will meet light. You know you will meet water. You know what to eat. You know you will go there and pluck tomatoes. You will go there and get bitter leaf. Where we are still building to, we've not gotten close to it. I want to get to that point where we can say, okay, let's now build a dam. Fill up the dam with fishes and say nobody must fish from this place for another 2 years. Let the fishes multiply, not sterile, real fertile fishes. Let them multiply. We now create a system. It's okay. Every Friday, people just go there with your canoe and hunt. Whatever you catch, go and eat. You see, people now start looking forward to Friday. Friday now becomes fun. This is how we live life. Yes, country homes are expensive. That's why yesterday I was saying I want to build a real country home that is luxury. The people start saying I want to go to country home. I want to just go and rest. There are that one is a whole different class on its own. Agro-tourism and hospitality. So in Nigeria, we call it agro-tourism. We try to give it brand name. Abroad, it is still farming. There is no real name for it. Because you see, people are not coming to tour. People are coming to escape the hustle and bustle of the city life. You are just coming to a place that is quiet, where you will just take a stroll around. Nobody is hitting you. Nobody is pushing you to enter bus. Nobody is blaring horn at you. No police embarrassment, intimidation, nothing. It's just that freedom of life. That freedom of life. That in the future we'll get to a point where we will say, oh, every third Friday of the month is yam roasting day. We just harvest yam and just sit there and come at the yam law. Yes, in some places they do that, where they just tell you, catch as many fishes as you can. When they are done, pour all the fishes back in the river. It's just for the fun of it. And people do it happily. If some of you will remember, was it not last 3 months or 2 months that I opened one of the pond and I said, just fish, whatever you catch is your own. Imagine the amount of fun people had. What if we can get to a point where we do that once a month? Won't people look forward to that once a month? Now, imagine, you don't understand what being a farmer is. Because you can do fishes, imagine we create a system where we say, okay, every first week of the month, go to this bush, there are antelopes, there are rabbits, just catch. Every second week, we do fish. Every third week, we do antelope or something. Every fourth week, we do yam roasting, maize roasting around the fire. Bro, by the time you get to the city and people are telling you, I went clubbing, I went this, those things will mean nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because when you see what they define as fun, you are just pitying them and say, hey, yeah, is this what people say you are enjoying in the city? Because you now realize you have a fuller life on the farm than the life they have in the city. Because in the city, they are pretending to have a life. You now realize that on the farm, you have real, that Yoruba is correct. The life is in a peak mood. That is what we want to create. Well, thank you all for joining. This is already 10:40 something. I've taken too long since. Yes, there are places you pay for fishing. There was a time we were trying to create that in one of our other facilities, but it didn't work. Farming, like we need to get farming back is all I'm trying to say. And that is what I'm trying to build. Because when we get it back, I promise you, for free, a lot of people will want to do farming. I promise you. Thank you so much for joining. Have a great night.